21. Utah. The San Rafael swell, as the sun came up, unrolled in inhuman vistas like Mars. Sandstone and shale, gorges, and desolate rust-red mesas. I'd had a hard time sleeping, partly because of the drugs, partly for fear that Popper might fidget or whine, but he was perfectly quiet as we drove the twisted mountain roads, sitting quietly inside his bag on the seat beside me, on the side closest to the window. As it happened, my suitcase had been small enough to bring aboard, which I was happy about for any number of reasons. My sweater, wind, sand, and stars, but most of all my painting, which felt like an article of protection, even wrapped up and out of view, like a holy icon carried by a crusader into battle. There were no other passengers in the back, except a shy-looking Hispanic couple with a bunch of plastic food containers on their laps, and an old drunk talking to himself. And we made it fine through the winding roads all the way through Utah and into Grand Junction, Colorado, where we had a 50-minute rest stop. After locking my suitcase in a coin-op locker, I walked Popper out behind the bus station, well out of the driver's sight, bought us a couple of hamburgers from Burger King, and gave him water from the plastic top of an old carryout container I found in the trash. From Grand Junction, I slept until our layover in Denver, an hour and 16 minutes, just as the sun was going down, where Popper and I ran and ran for sheer relief of being off the bus, ran so far down shadowy, unknown streets that I was almost afraid of getting lost, although I was pleased to find a hippie coffee shop where the clerks were young and friendly. "Bring him in," said the purple-haired girl at the counter when she saw Popper tied out front. "We love dogs." And where I bought not only 2 turkey sandwiches, one for me, one for him, but a vegan brownie and a greasy paper bag of homemade vegetarian dog biscuits. I read late. Creamy paper yellowed in a circle of weak lights as the unknown darkness sped past, over the Continental Divide and out of the Rockies, Popper content after his romp around Denver and snoozing happily in his bag. At some point, I slept, then woke and read some more. At 2 a.m., just as Saint-Exupéry was telling the story of his plane crash in the desert, we came into Salina, Kansas, crossroads of America. 20-minute rest stop, under a moth-beaten sodium lamp, where Popper and I ran around a deserted gas station parking lot in the dark, my head still full of the book while also exulting in the strangeness of being in my mother's state for the first time in my life. Had she, on her rounds with her father, ever driven through this town? Cars rushing past on the 9th Street interstate exit? Lighted grain silos like starships looming in the emptiness for miles away? Back on the bus, sleepy, dirty, tired out, cold, Popchick and I slept from Salina to Topeka, and from Topeka to Kansas City, Missouri, where we pulled in just at sunrise.